Hello, welcome back. We got construction to 2. Gives us some options for things to make. I might just try and get up to enchantment 7 now, I'm not sure. There's a temptation to go to construction 6 and make lanterns. But there's also a temptation to get up to enchantment 6 and do eternal pyre and then make lanterns, so I'm not sure. But for now I'm just going for the enchantment, we'll see what happens. Didn't find any sites, unfortunately. Not even my god could find one. Then we had a battle in Borewoods. We did not bump Calum, so true to their word, they've left us alone. So we just got some giants walking up. Kind of an odd arrangement. We get surrounded a bit. We don't have our human-sized troops in amongst the giants, because of how strangely we were positioned that time. Just in case I bumped into mammoths, you know. So we ended up losing a few units there. Lost 3 soldiers and a Cyclops soldier, which is unfortunate. But we did take the province. And that's it for messages. We can see a lot of neighbours now. So Germon is here, and I can see their cap right here as well. So Esquania is in their cap circle, which might make expanding around here a little bit awkward. In theory, I can take Old Forest and get Timireni, though, which, I don't know. That's then into Abyssea's cap circle again, though, so not really sure what we're going to do. We might just take Old Forest and that'll be that. It does give us access to the throne in White Waste, though, and it's adjacent to Borewoods, which I'll probably turn into a fortress at some point. So Old Forest is fine. But I don't know if we're going to go any further than that. It is now winter, so I guess in theory I could possibly take Roka and then come back if this freezes completely, but who knows. Speaking of coldness, there's now coldness in Hippocampus Fortune as well. I wonder if this isn't a cold site. But then again, this is cold too, though, so I don't know, everything around it is neutral. These are heat 1, and this is cold. I mean, I feel like there's probably a cold site here, right? I'm not sure. Either way, can see Germon here. Expansion is probably going to stall pretty quickly down here, but we'll see what happens. Up here I can also see Atlantis now, so Utgard is squashed. Utgard's position is a bit awkward because they only have 2 neighbours, me and Atlantis, so they're going to attack one of us, in theory. Unless there's a neighbour coming from here over this connection, and this is Atlantis, and there's another player here, which is possible. But even so, that's still only 3 neighbours. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 neighbours that I can see so far. None of whom are great position-wise for attacking, except Utgard, who we have a huge land border with. But any one of them could start attacking us and causing us issues. I guess we can defend quite easily, though, because we can easily get to Kunaral from our cap. Jerib's a bit more difficult to get to because of the awkward terrain, but yeah, it's an odd map. Lots of people complaining that it's a bit cramped. Probably more of a 10-player map than 12, but here we are. Anyway, gonna attack Old Forest. Up here, we've got the Palisades going down in 2 months in Kunaral. There's also a temple there now as well. And we just built the temple in Jerib. Palisades in 1 month. So I need a lab in Jerib next month. It's going to be a bit late, but I guess we still need to upgrade the Palisades anyway. And I'm also moving a mage to Kunaral too. This little guy. He can build the lab there. So we've almost got 2 new forts at least. That's kind of cool. I feel like maybe we're ahead of schedule there. It's only turn 10. Next I'll try and build some infrastructure in Borewoods too. Nothing moving there just yet, but there are some planned movements to go there. Cyclops Site Search is going to move to Jerib this turn. Oppressor Site Search is going to move to Rid. Maybe he'll find a water site there, if it's cold spreading site, who knows. But we're also sending my god and a bunch of Cyclops soldiers, and a Cyclops Phlegra. So those guys can hit Red Bud next turn as well, which should be fine. And besides that, not much else to say. I am pinging the 2 thrones, which we planned for. So you can see those 2 scouts attacking those. Both just set to retreat. So we'll see exactly what's in those thrones. And in my cap, we'll have my prophet there next month with a few crossbow guys. So this turn, I'm just recruiting some stuff that he can lead. He'll probably lead some stuff down here and start building a fort and stuff. And since we have an oppressor paid for, I've got to queue up 2 of these Cyclope commanders as well. They're good leaders that are, you know, size 4, so they can lead our giants. They're also taskmasters, so they're good at leading our humans. And maybe I can give this guy a brand or something later and he can fight quite well with our armies. His stats are quite nice. Big drawback is the magic resistance is 9, which means I'm not going to deploy him anywhere solo. But besides that, he seems pretty cool. I'll give him a couple of items later. And that is it for the turn currently. Really hoping to develop our scout networks a little bit. Just want to see if people are going to be moving towards us. Then again, we're not going to get much warning, are we? Because we're so close to people's caps. Well, there's those marshlands here, which helps us a bit. Because I know Garthan units are quite slow to begin with. So he probably can't move straight from his cap into Mufeth in one turn. Irithea probably can't attack Jereb in one turn either, so we'll at least get a little bit of warning if we have something in Keban. Although they might be able to sail or something, I don't know, or come through the water. Because I know they've got some kind of water relationship, right? Some Calum stuff can fly, so that could hit our provinces quite easily, I suppose. I'll probably put these provinces up to 10 or 15 PD at some point because of that. Jomon, we don't have much of a border. I think they're probably the people least likely to attack us, but who knows? And Abyssia, I don't know, maybe they'll attack us. Again, though, their units are quite slow. They probably can't move straight from Abyssia to Cunaral in one turn, but who knows? Anyway, it's turn 10. Saving up a little bit of gold in the treasury to hopefully build some labs next turn. But that is it for now. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a moment. Hello, welcome back. 4 battles this turn, 2 thrones being pinged, and some Germanese exchanges. So unfortunately German moved into Old Forest. Quite a big army as well. Even got a Tengu in there. So they take the province from the Indies, no problems. We also see they also have a Fortitude Blast, same as Abyssia. Which is interesting. I guess that's popular at the moment, I don't know. But it's lots of Yamabushis. And lots of Ashigarus too. So they take Old Forest with no problems. And then we bump into them in Old Forest. So unfortunately we are just massively outnumbered here. And there's not much you can do about that. There's about 20 Ashigarus. So our giants are pretty tough. But they really need some size 2 units in amongst them. And we'd also just need way more force here, I think. So we gradually just get petrified and stabbed to death. Not great. Yeah, our magic resistance also sucks, doesn't it? Having a handful of, you know, single big troops that are just getting petrified one at a time is also not great. So unfortunately we just lose everything there, which is a shame. But yeah, 72 units, 21 Yamabushis. So we lost, I mean these are 40 gold each, lost 8 of them. That's 320 gold. He lost what? Ashigarus are 8 gold each. Ovan's 12 and a Yamabushi is 19. So yeah, pretty bad for us, but not exactly an even fight. Really bad though. Also pinged 2 thrones. Let's see, I'll show them off on the map first. So Abokti looks like the most difficult of the 2. It's a ton of heavy cav, and then there's 4 mages, and 2 of them are big firecasters, which might not be too bad for us, since they'll probably spawn fire rallies, but we have magic weapons on our units, well, on the giants anyway. And these slingers I can recruit, the big giant slingers that are added in this balance mod, also have a bit of fire resistance, so not too bad. Forest of the Lost looks a bit simpler. The units are a bit less intimidating. It's mostly light infantry and phantasmal warriors. And again, we have magic weapons if we want to hit ethereal things, so not too bad. And there's only 2 mages in this province. We have a sorceress with quite a bit of variety. Might summon an early, I guess. And yeah, another sorceress with a bit less variety, but also wielding a Sling of Accuracy, quite funny. Yeah, this one doesn't seem as bad. But, you know, still mages. So those are the 2 thrones. Events then, Rid, we got a Dominion change. That's kind of annoying because it's where my god currently is. Now there's 4 points of enemy Dominion, so my god's currently on 70 hit points instead of like 150. Scatly Swamps, we got 2 Earth Gems, and even more, a local wizard was lynched after turning a peasant into a frog, and gave us 2 gems as well. Worldwide event, there's Misfortune and Death, good stuff. And finish the Palisades in Jereb. Yeah, this is a bit bad. That's a big Jomon army that just wiped us. And his god is nearby as well, which is an Earth Serpent. So, not great. I was tempted to PD dump here in case, you know, this moves in. But 2 things. First of all, the PD here is not exactly great. And second of all, if he is going to attack us, the only province his god can move into is Bullwoods, so this PD probably isn't going to do anything to this army plus a god if he wants to move in. So I'm just going to abandon this province for now, and hope we don't get attacked. It is only turn 11, so he might have places to go. Certainly he wants to get the underwater provinces if he's Jomon. And I'm pretty sure this Earth Serpent can just take all of these provinces easily, no matter what's in them. I could be wrong, but Earth Serpent, I remember, is extremely durable. So this is unfortunate, but not much I can do about it at the moment. In terms of what we can do, we are going to attack Redbud Grove this turn. So I've got the giants out in front, and my god is just on attack. He's at the back. So, you know, should take this out no problems. It's a bit, you know, weird. But it should be okay when we've got units and our god. So that should be fine. And then either those units and my god will hang around in this area, attack this throne at some point, or they're going to be pulled down to help defend against Jomon. But we'll see what happens. But a priest here moving towards Bullwoods, because I will eventually Fort and Temple and lab this when we can. And my prophet's moving into Shade Forest with some units. I'll lose some stuff down here. Prophet can start building a fort or something when we've got a bit of gold. This turn I've started upgrading the fortress in Jereb and building the lab. And this guy will probably search for other sites next turn as well. So this fortress is set up pretty much now. General is going to be a Palisades next month, so we'll need to put some buildings here as well. Well, we've got the temple, just need the lab next. And that's how things look right now. Back in my cap, I've started recruiting some flagrant oppressors, so the little oppressors. That's the most cost-efficient researcher we have. So I'm just going to get those for a while. I'll switch to the oppressor archons eventually, though. And units-wise, yeah, we've got the Cyclope Flingers. These guys have a magic sword, a magic sling, and 5 fire resistance, so should be pretty good for helping us take thrones. And also going to fill out with some crossbows as well. Bigger range units will probably be pretty good against Jomon anyway, because the Yamabushis don't have shields, and archers certainly don't have shields. Tengus don't. Ashigaras don't, so a bunch of unshielded units in the early portion of the game. Gonna get hit a bit by projectiles. Fortitude Bless might complicate things a bit, I don't know. But yeah, I feel like massing ranged units probably pretty good. Front line of big giants. Bunch of crossbows behind them. Well, either way, that's turn 11. Big shame to lose this down here, but oh well. Probably got a good... But you know, usually in this sort of position, I'll message the player and say, hey, I'm attacking this. Like I did up here with Agartha. Like I checked out if I could take move forth. But I just didn't do it because I don't know, I got cocky. And now I'm paying for it. Classic story. But that was turn 11, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hello, welcome back. Enchantment is done. And we'll get 2 next turn as well. Doesn't really give us much though. At all. But we'll keep going, you know. We got Strength of Giants at 3, which will be pretty useful, I suppose. And then at 4 we can pick up Flaming Arrows as well for all the crossbows that we're now recruiting. So it becomes useful, but not terribly at the moment. Did not find any sites, no water site either in the Cold Province. Man has declared cast Haruspex on a forest, the Prophet. Someone's dormant god woke up, and we had a battle in Redbud Grove. So, this is a bit of a weird province. There are lots of Bloodhenge druids, with a few items as well. Got some salt and a burning pearl. Got just lots of Bloodhenge druids with gems. This guy has a berserker pelt, so he's berserking. Good for him. Also got lots of dark vines in the front. Lots of hit points on these bad boys. Besides that, the units aren't too bad, it's just woodsmen. My giants are getting bled though. Lots of bleed and sleep cloud. And now agony. Agony isn't too bad on our guys, we got lots of hit points. Decent morale as well. Yeah, these guys are on 16, these guys are on 14. I guess they got hit by agony. Oh, unless it's just experience. Either way, we chew through the woodsman. Dark vines don't last too long. My god cleans up the back. So all in all, you know, not awful. We did lose 4 of our Cyclope soldiers. But it does give us a province that lets us recruit nature mages, so pretty good. Curtain Wall, we got an Omen of War. A swallow was seen chasing an eagle. Misfortune +2 and Unrest +4. That's kind of ominous because we do suddenly have a little squad of... Who are you again? Utgard? There's a little squad of Utgard units right on our border here now. There is no reason for them to be there. Unless this is like some guy site searching with a few bodyguards, I don't know. It is a wasteland after all. But I noticed Utgard now has a bunch of stuff set in his cap too. So he's pulled stuff to his cap and put those there. And we got an Omen of War and Curtain Wall, so you know. Yeah, ominous. Finished the Palisades in Cunaralo. I can't see any other forts for Utgard yet, though, is the thing. So we've got Jerub about to be upgraded. There's a lab and a temple there now. Cunaral is now being upgraded and I'm building a lab, so spent a lot of gold again this turn. So not a huge amount of recruitment. But next turn, we don't have any buildings to build just yet. So I can start recruiting more mages and units in earnest from, you know, all of these 3 points now. Versus Utgard's 1? I don't know, I can't see a fort yet, but I mean, I suppose there could be stuff up here, right? Either way, this is a bit alarming. Can't see any Jomon stuff though. So, for the time being, let's assume that Jomon's going to leave us alone and worry about Utgard for a bit instead. So our expansion is pretty much done. We need to just see if we get attacked by Utgard now. So I'm pulling this stuff here back to our cap while my god does some site searching. And I'm site searching in Jerub too. See if we see why there's so many resources here. So next turn in Phlegra we'll have all of this stuff, bringing my profit back with these guys as well. And I'm also recruiting still 3 flingers and a bunch of crossbows. So we have some units here if we start getting some aggression. As I said, we're also getting buildings then in Cunaral. So no recruitment here yet. And still none in Jerub either. But yeah, we can start recruiting from there next turn as well. And I'm going to move a Cyclops over to Cunaral as well, just to put a few more resources in this province. At some point I would like to put Lab and Temple and Fort in Borewoods as well. But it's just on the back burner for a second. I've got this priest walking over there. He can put down a temple at least. And maybe I'll send a random commander over there at some point to build fortress. Or he can do it after the temple's down, I suppose. Or before. But yeah, for now, I'll just see what happens next turn. Didn't find any sites here, unfortunately, but going to search Scoutly next turn as well. Redbud does let us recruit Woodhenge Druids. So, gives us some nature magic. So at some point I need to lab and temple this too. But otherwise that's pretty much it for this turn. I will point out that we now have a Ring of Water Breathing in the treasury, because I did forge one of those. I don't think I mentioned it. But we could send our god underwater at some point as well. So I could also send my god to Phlegra this turn to pick that up and then attack White Lake. But I just would quite like to search the forest for sites first. We also have a Ring of Frost, and I can't remember if I accidentally forged this, or if we got it from an event. Don't know, would we have that many water gems? I'm not sure. Either way, that might be useful if Utgard attacks us, because I could also put that on my god and give him some cold res. I'm pretty sure these guys are going to use cold magic, right? Looks like Jotunheim. But that is it for the turn. We've got PD everywhere. Not much else to say. So I will leave things there for now. And that brings us to the end of the first year. And the end of the video again, so hope you're still enjoying it. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.